Viewer discretion advised. This episode of High and Hello is brought to you by Last Minute Shopping. Come on, man, it's the 18th. Get your shit together. Alright, everybody, buckle in. We're back. We're at it. It's actually going to get kind of loud, so watch your volume. Another episode of High and Hello starts in 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of High and Hello. This is Tyler. I'm here today with a good friend of mine, known him as well for probably, 5 years or so?
About 5 years, yeah. That'll go. Uh-huh.
You were a mutual friend of another one of our guests we had on the show, Jerome, from the first episode. And of course, a plane decides to fly over past while we're starting the show, because it's Chicago, and they fly right over Lake Michigan.
Right.
They landed, and
we're a city with 2 airports, if you would. 2. Yes.
As I was saying, you're a mutual friend through Jerome. How did you meet Jerome?
Crazy enough, I used to babysit Jerome.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm. I've known him that long.
I thought you guys were like in high school together or something.
No, I'm a bit older than Jerome.
No shit.
Yeah, about 10 years. And it wouldn't seem like it because I'm just as immature as he is. So, in that sense, we're about the same age. But yeah, I used to babysit Jerome. Used to beat him up, feed him, play with him, all that stuff.
No shit. Yeah. You ever walk in on him just beating it?
No. And if I did, I wouldn't tell.
Man, you were in the bathroom for a long time, dude.
No, I missed out on that. I mean, how can I come in on him beating when I was probably beating in another room? You know what I'm saying?
You guys shifts.
Right.
Yeah,
go watch that door,
yeah.
Yeah.
Man, we gotta be careful with that. Like when I was talking to you earlier, we were on the phone and we both said, like, alright, see you soon, at the same time, like one of those jinxes, you know what I mean? And I was really nervous for a second. I was like, oh no, we're going Freaky Friday. Like right before I hung up, I was like, oh no, am I about to become him? Oh shit.
I don't think you could actually be that pretty.
Man, I don't know what I would do if me and you switched bodies for a day. That would be quite the catastrophe.
I don't know, because either way, I'm still charming, debonair, suave. I mean, don't get me wrong, you'd have the benefit of my good looks, my height, my year-round chocolatey tan. Yeah, my juicy lips.
I wouldn't have to sit out in the sun.
Yeah.
I'd have a nice glaze. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
You do have a very, a very nice pigment. Does that make sense?
It does, but it does not sound
like I don't want to wear your skin.
That's what. It didn't sound like a compliment. It's just like, it's
the tea.
It sounds like something you say when you're sizing somebody up. Ooh, yeah, those are some nice.
Size 9.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. There's some ugly motherfuckers out in the world of all colors, and so, yep. Let's go to the next subject. So where are you from originally, man?
About to say, because if we were going to keep on me being you, then we'd have to, me coming home to that beautiful wife of yours.
Man.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, Tyler.
Then I'd call your kids up and be like, hey, we haven't talked about some shit. I got some stuff to get off my chest. Family meeting.
I mean, you'd also...
Everyone meet in the bathroom where it all began.
In a fair exchange, you'd have to go through the Rolodex and deal with all the chicks I deal with, too, so...
Oh, I don't got a Rolodex. Like you said, it's just one. It's one done. I'm a simple creature.
Yeah,
I like breakfast food and a nice brunette. I like bacon, eggs, and the company in like a log cabin. Like life is okay. But yeah, where are you from, man?
Oh, I'm Chicago born and bred.
What part of the city?
South Side, really.
South Side, really?
Yeah.
When did you move up to the north side?
We moved to Rogers Park and never left. I moved up here in like 8th grade.
Yeah?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
That's a very interesting time to move because you've already been... So for you, was it like kindergarten to like 5th grade or some shit? Or like how was your school years broke up?
Well, I guess they call it child abuse now, but we were latchkey kids. Me and my siblings, you come home, you get a key, your parent goes to work and they give you instructions, come home, lock the door and don't let nobody the fuck in. Don't go outside, blah, blah, blah. And this is at a very young age. So
Not everybody hates Chris.
yeah, so we come home, we cook for ourselves, blah, blah, blah. Totally independent, but we can't open the door and we can't go outside. Of course, we did open the door, we did go outside, but we lived in a community when it was kind of safe to do so at that time. Well, but yeah, but that's child abuse now. You can't leave kids alone. Yeah.
Which is interesting because, like, when I was a kid, I got left at home all the time. Like, but I was also the oldest one. I was a dipshit, man. They should have never put me in charge of nothing. Like, at all. That was a terrible idea. Like, I'm grown now, and I still know it was a bad idea. Why would you do that? But, it was a necessity. Like,
yeah, necessity. Poor parents work a lot. You know what I'm saying? It's a miracle that I can read. That my mother came home, and she still taught me to read and whooped us about our homework and all that. And, my mother literally... She worked 2 jobs most of the time, and sometimes she was a maid on the weekends after her 2 jobs. So we talking like 3 jobs a week, over 80 hours. It was fucking crazy, and we were still fucking broke.
What would your dad do?
My dad was not with us.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry.
Nah.
Did he pass away though?
No, he just whole nother family. Yeah, whole nother family.
I mean, that's kind of how it was for my mom, though. Like, my mom, she was just a drifter, man. She went to, like, after I was born, my dad got custody pretty much and, like, was the one there to take care of me. And my mom, she traveled all over the fucking place. Like, we could never really track her down for a while, but it was kind of crazy, man. Kind of sucked, like, but I don't know, like, did your mom ever have, like long-term relationships?
Oh, yeah, well, as far as... Well, with my father was still around. I was just really raised by my mother.
Right,
and my mother had relationships with guys, but she was really it was really secretive at first until she felt comfortable, and then they would come around, and that was pretty much the gist.
You got siblings?
Yeah.
Older, younger, or mixed?
With my mother, I'm the youngest. With my father, I'm the oldest.
Ah.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So you were saying that you were instructed not to open the door.
No, I ain't open the door. I don't care who the fuck it was.
Right. But at the same time, those times you went out, did you ever have any of those incidents where you're like, I'm gonna get my ass beat, like I'm gonna get drunk?
Oh man, I
rock through a window or something, or doing some stupid shit. And...
it was 3 of us, so and we would all be getting in trouble, pretty much the same because we all outside, stealing, lying, and everything else. So we'd be in a line. Who's gonna go first to get their ass whooped? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to be first to get it over with, or do you want to be last because hopefully she's tired? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Yeah.
True.
So it's just like, I'm gonna go first, so I can cry this out and blah blah blah. Yeah, but man, my ass was whooped often. I was a terrible kid, a terrible teenager. Man, I still grew up in a sense where I didn't curse around adults, blah blah blah. I still had that manners thing. I don't know if, a lot of kids don't have that now.
True.
But
very true.
you tell me to do something, I listen, but I'm still gonna do whatever I'm gonna do. I'm gonna listen to what you say, mama, because you my mama, ma'am, whatever. But I'm gonna do what the fuck I'm gonna do.
So what kind of circles did you used to run around in? Like with school, were you were saying that like you were lucky to read in a sense because like your mom would come home and help you out with your shit and like your studies and whatnot. But was there any subjects that really caught your attention? Or was there anything that you really excelled at off to the side?
Excelled at? Or
was school just not for you? Was there?
No, kids need to realize school can be the best time of your life. Because, after high school, you want, I wish I was still in high school doing the same stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? You got a whole network of people you see every day. You've got your own little communities and societies and blah, blah, blah. So school is really fun, but, you should take some time to learn while you're there, too. As far as subjects, reading was always my thing, I like to know stuff, even though I hated reading, but I like to know stuff, and that's really the only way you can. So reading, especially comics, history books. So that was my best subject, social studies. But, cartoons and such. Everybody wanted to be a super scientist and a super soldier and a superhero. So I liked science, but I sucked at it. Science is hard, bro.
Did you ever have to go home and make the paper mache volcano or something? Yeah.
Yeah, I even had a chemistry set. And to the time I was like 12 or 13, I could have swore I was going to get superpowers. 13 years old. I'm telling you.
You
13, yeah, I'm still mixing shit. Yeah. Getting all types sick, taking all types of shit, man. I could have swore I was gonna have some kind of explosion and have not a burnt face, but superpowers, or a burnt face with superpowers. One of the two. I really fucking thought I was gonna figure it out. Yeah.
So with your hopes of superpowers, I assume then you were a comic book fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Or were you like cartoon wise, or was it like
cartoons,
series, or was it the
cartoons,
books?
comic books, you name it.
So throw me some titles, man. What all are your favorites? What were you into? What molded you? And yeah, what molded you?
Well, everybody knows Superman. Everybody knows Batman, of course. But like anybody, I say any true comic book fan or geek, Spider-Man's the one. You know, he's a young guy. He's awkward. He's just trying to get through life. He's got these powers, and he's trying to do the right fucking thing. He's got his aunt. You know, it's just like anybody's
favorite Spider-Man villain.
Favorite Spider-Man villain.
And why? Because like mine, for example, I loved Doc Ock. Doc Ock was like the coolest for me. I dug his backstory. I was super excited when Spider-Man 2 came out because I was like, fucking Doc Ock, yes! Like I got super excited about that. And the movie was decent. I don't care what anybody says. I don't give a fuck.
Two was
Y'all
all right.
roll your
One
eyes
was the
as much
best,
as you
and
want.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about none of these other Spider-Mans. I always go and see him.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire. The Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is the fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, he just is. It's plain and simple.
Yeah, the way it's simple, the way it turns out, I understand they updated it. It's more cool. It's more up to date. Get the fuck out of here.
I like the Holland kid though. Like it goes like for me. Obviously, he was our first big screen Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Tobey Maguire.
Yeah,
he was it. Like that's all we had for a while, for like a minute, to be real. And honestly, if they would have made a 4, I probably would have been cool with it. And then they're like, we're gonna relaunch it, and I was like, okay, like cool. I didn't really get into the Garfield kid that much. I didn't find him believable. Like he was dating that Emma Stone chick at the time, and so like the whole vibe, like. The movies were just like lame as fuck. Like I wasn't a huge fan of Jamie Foxx in this role.
Yeah, it was absolutely, it was atrocious, man. It was ridiculous, man. Yeah. And actually, now that you mention it, Electro is probably my favorite Spider-Man villain.
Yeah,
yeah, because there's like comics Electro just coming out just to fuck with Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Him and the Green Goblin. But Electro probably first for me, and then the Green Goblin, a very close number 2. Yeah,
Green Goblin. Even in that first one of movies, who was it?
What's his name?
It wasn't. Oh shit!
Oh no, we're gonna look this up.
Yeah,
because dude is one of my favorite actors, man.
I know he was also in Boondock Saints.
Yeah,
absolutely. Classical music, replaying, dancing around.
No, my favorite.
Why am I forgetting this? So heavy right now.
It's a Donnie Devo sent me over.
It's Defoe, William Defoe.
Yeah, William Defoe.
William Defoe.
William fucking Defoe, man.
I just it on record that I recalled it. He looked it up, I think.
That scene on the ground when he's at the fucking house. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. He's dressed like the chick. That shit is fucking classic.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's disgusting. But how the fuck did you not know that wasn't a chick? Yeah, man. Donnie, he's always sending over his fucking Primo box, man. Fuck, man. There was nothing attractive about that at all. And you're not even drunk, bro. You know what I'm saying? Man, I fucking anyway.
Man, Defoe.
Yeah, Defoe. Yeah.
The foe stands for show. William for show. We're gonna call him that now.
But yeah, Electro. Spider-Man, but X-Men, the Avengers, Justice League, Teen Titans.
The first run of X-Men were pretty good, but
they were disgusting, man.
You gotta be kidding me.
Of course, I watched them because
what was it? Was it X3? There was. I want to say it was X3. X3, which I'm trying to remember the plot of it.
When they
wasn't that the run with the Dark Phoenix kind of esque shit with Jean Grey?
No.
Was that the second one?
I thought. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe you're right. Yeah, that's the one when they were gonna they had come up with the cure to take their powers.
Yeah,
that's number
General
3.
Stryker was coming out with like rifles and shit.
Right.
Yeah, I guess like they were kind of dookie.
Don't get me wrong. Charles Xavier, excellent. Magneto, fucking excellent. Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen, on point, 100%, even better. I'd say.
Still kick it.
Yes. Fucking the best X-Men movie to me is First Class.
I'll give you that.
Unfucking beatable.
I'll give you that.
Yeah.
Makes him put the coin through his mom's head.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
That's it's magic.
I remember seeing that, I think, in theaters, and right out the gate when they got who was it? He played the Assassin's Creed, the dude who played the new Magneto. Michael Fassbender?
Yeah.
Michael Fassbender, he's sitting there, and Kevin Bacon's like, just put the coin through your mom's head. And I was like, what the fuck is happening right now? And he's like, ah! And like, you see all the metal go flying throughout the place. Oh, dude. Great. It was a good movie.
Kevin Bacon was a monster in that fucking thing, man.
So was Azazel. You remember the red demon who could just like flash in and out of existence? He was a bad motherfucker too. Yeah, that movie was great.
It was the best.
I just wish the X-Men series itself was just a little bit more cleaned up. Like they went too many places with it over the time the franchise has been running.
It's kind of hard to tell a story with so many characters. You know what I'm saying? And you really gotta get them to coalesce in, and you got all these backstories and why and these motives and stuff and blah blah blah. It's that's some real storytelling. It's easy to tell a Batman story. It's easy to tell a Spider-Man story. You're really only giving one perspective, but everybody's got to come in and have these fucking things happening. It's you know.
Are you still a fan of DC? Have you ever been?
I've always been a fan of DC, but I've been more of a Marvel man than DC.
When it comes to the films?
The first Batman, the second Batman, and then the next Batman series, 1, 2, the third one it was better than any of them. It was the third one to the second Batman series was better than the third one and fourth one. And was there a fifth one to the?
For the Nolan universe? The Nolan universe, there was only 3.
So right. His third movie was better than the last.
The Burton
but better than the last Burton's, yes. But you know, the original Superman and then Superman 2.
I've never been able to get into Superman. And
what?
I think I know why. I'm dead serious. I think I know why. I liked, what was it, 2 with Richard Pryor?
Mm-hmm.
So,
Richard Pryor was 3.
3.
Yeah.
And that's probably one that, like, the franchise probably suffered a little bit. I've never actually seen it, but I just remember Pryor being on. I'm going to watch it. Like, Superman's carrying Richard Pryor. That's
Richard
amazing.
Pryor said, I did that for the monies. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what's like one of his flicks, though? Brewster's Millions.
Oh, man.
Remember that movie?
Brewster's Millions, yeah. And there was this one where he's, like, driving this bus full of kids, and he like takes it through KKK territory and all this. And then there's the one, is it Any Which Way Is Up or some shit like that?
Any Which Way But Up, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. That's my fucking. It's fucking hilarious. Plays like different roles and shit. Richard Pryor, man, one of a kind. Man,
he was the best, man.
That coke's a hell of a drug. You know what I'm saying? Man, but
there were like 4 comedians my dad would let me stay up late while he was drinking to watch, and it was Richard Pryor, George Carlin, the early Robin Williams stuff, and Sam Kinison. But the Sam Kinison stuffs were just shit he had on like VHS or something. But yeah, I fucking love Pryor. But to go along with Superman for a second, I kind of like dipped out of it. I got to get better at like holding the conversations. You know what I'm saying? I have to go back and listen to each one of these each time I do it, just to make sure the levels sound okay. You know, I'm putting it out there. I want to make sure that if there's anything I could fix, I fix it, right? And I don't cut people's words, though. I just feel like that's rude. You know what I mean? I would never want to cut off your thought or your opinion on something. And I stay true to my own. I don't try to like prep my shit up. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
But I can't figure out if I'm keeping shit on topic for a long enough time. It sounds weird. So to go with the Superman thing, to end that, it was because the Superman video game was tough as fuck. The Superman video game was so goddamn difficult because you had to fly Superman through the hoops and shit.
Yeah.
But it was so behind for like what the systems could do. Like I remember playing like Star Fox and shit.
Yeah,
And being able to do this just fine.
Yeah.
Playing the Superman video game, you had to use like it was a Nintendo 64, so you had to use like those.
Oh, I remember.
Yellow C buttons.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Then, like you needed 3 hands.
It was a fucking terrible
it
joystick. It was destroyed.
so
Yeah,
bad.
you literally need 2 hands for one fucking hand joystick. Yeah, it was disgusting.
But at the same time, I got fucking good. Like I spent so much time. I couldn't keep the game though because I had to rent it. You remember renting video games?
Oh, I do.
You were doing that a lot longer than I was. Man.
I did not rent video games. Truth
You
be
didn't?
told, no. My first video game system was a Nintendo, and my second video game system was like when I was adult. I bought a PlayStation, used, and then PS1, and we got a PS2. But as much as I love video games, I don't really play video games. And as much as I used to watch anime and cartoons and all that, I really don't as much. I'm not as much into comic books. I want to be. I just don't have the time. And who can afford to buy fucking comics?
It's insane. It's insane.
Man! And not only is a comic like $5 by itself, like say if you want X-Men, it's this X-Men. It's an X-Men. They've got so many fucking X-Men, and then Wolverine is in everybody's fucking comic book. Are there clones of you, man? I mean, how the fuck you got like 4 or 5 titles by yourself?
It's clipping.
I'm just saying, man. And believe me, you don't know how much money I have wasted buying comics because I see one, I gotta have it all because I gotta read all the stories. You know what I'm saying? And especially,
they'd make the run 7 or 8, and you would literally have to go over 3 months, give or take.
Yeah.
Of God's honest dedication to it, and that's just for one plot. That's like if you had cable and they told you, hey, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go down to 32nd Street. You're going to go find this guy. He's going to have episode 1 of Friends.
Yeah.
And you're going to go back to him every 2 Tuesdays. And you're going to get your next episode of Friends. And that's how the business worked. People did it, though. People did it. And if they didn't have all the runs they were looking for, they'll go to another shop. And I got to get it here then.
You get into one of the little the little boxes where you get $40 worth of comics, and you get one extra title or whatever. But truthfully, I get $40 worth of comics, and that's in 1 month.
You were yelling so loud.
I done fucking read the things in the hour train ride back home because and it's not the writers.
It's
the company.
16, 17 pages.
Yeah, most of it now is just fucking advertisements.
So do you buy more graphic novels? And just
I'm totally graphic novels, and I go to the library, and I'm always a year or 2 behind on what's happening in comic books because I'm only reading for the library.
Drum was the one who taught me the library trick because when I was growing up, I didn't have I had a public library, but we didn't use it. Like I said, I lived out in the middle of nowhere, so the only times we went into town, we were literally going into town, just civilization.
No, well, the thing is, comics really just started really getting into libraries maybe the past 10 years, maybe.
And do you think that's because of the movies that have been coming out?
The movies, and they're just so fucking popular. People have been asking for them, they finally capitulated. But, and you take your Chicago library, you link up with Evanston, or you link up with Eisenhower, and then you get in their networks, and you still can't really keep up with all the comics that's out there. I still buy comics. I just try to keep away from the comic book store because, I'll start fidgeting, and I'll buy everything.
What shops you like? What are some good shops in the city?
What's the joint over there? Loyola.
Third Coast.
Third Coast.
I like Third Coast a lot.
I fuck with Third Coast.
I like that they're closer now because they used to be down on Broadway.
Yeah.
Off Thorndale, I think it was, or Granville.
In between Granville and what's that?
Now
Sheridan, Devon type deal.
Oh, farther south than Devon. It was Broadway.
It was Broadway and Granville and
but
right across the street from the McDonald's.
Now they're right across the street from the new Target they're about to put.
Terry.
Right there. Yep.
Yeah,
Terry. He's awesome, man.
He's awesome. I'm all about supporting small business, and plus, you go there, you shoot the shit, you talk comics with him. He's pretty cool.
There's also Alley Cat, right? Isn't
Alley Cat over there? Yeah, over there on Clark.
That's
but through the little the shimmy little space. Yeah.
It's awesome though.
It's like a hidden little joint. Yeah.
For those of you out there listening to this comic shop, basically is inside of the middle of a block in a sense. Like it's technically not the actual alley, but you go through this tight squeeze 2 brick walls and you pop out. And there's like a little cafe or something, and then there's this comic shop, and they used to do karaoke there.
Yeah,
it's a really cool little spot.
It's like a secret key club bar, fake ass little comic book store. It's nice.
Cool.
Yeah,
you called it fake ass.
I mean, no, because
we're trying to talk nice about it. Like,
it is nice. I'm saying it's a fake ass in the sense that it's a key club, and if you're from Chicago, you might know what a key club is. You should. You know, a secret little bar for people in the know, whatever.
It's cool.
It is. And then there's one last place over there. It's like on Broadway. No, it's on Clark before you get to Belmont. It's called, I don't remember, but look it up. They've got it's.
I'm trying to recall. It's on Clark right before you get to Belmont.
Yeah.
Is it People Play Games?
No, it's right next to People Play Games.
Oh yeah, so yeah, it's right next to Clark and Belmont, folks. Check it out. We talk about Belmont pretty often on the show. It's a great part of the.
It's been there for a long time. They've got a great selection. Comics, toys, just weird shit, T-shirts, all kinds of zines and shit. The staff isn't always as friendly, but no staff really is always that friendly.
Yeah.
Don't be an asshole. And maybe they won't be an asshole to you. You know?
Can I ask you a question, man?
Mm-hmm.
In all your days and all your nights, what's one popular trend in today's society that just completely caught you off guard? Like for me, it was Tide Pods. It was people eating soap. Like I'm just saying, like
yeah, that's pretty that's pretty fucked up, man.
Never saw that coming,
man,
but it happened. You know what I mean? Like, what are some things within the last few years that?
No, that's definitely one of them. Now that you mention it, that's just got to be crazy.
People just started eating soap.
Yeah,
like, isn't that weird?
Soap and
that's so strange,
and beads that you put into fucking your bath beads and shit like that. It's just. Man,
they're doing it, like society's doing some weird shit, man. And you're somebody who is literally paid to watch over society because one of your jobs you do is basically like a doorman in a sense, like a bouncer, and so you're literally paid to babysit adults. Yeah. So like, I don't know. You keep an eye on society. What do you think are some things that have kind of thrown you off in the last few years?
I don't know if it's exactly. It's been surprising, but as humanity, it's pretty fucked up, man. Human life is pretty cheap, and the human mind, we're pretty. You talk about a virus, a parasite on this planet. I mean, we consume it all. We do it. There's like a passage in the Bible. If you're a Bible reader for either religious and faith reasons or academic reasons, and it's like it goes something like this. For me to paraphrase, it's like God looked down and he saw humanity doing stuff that never even came into his mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
We just, whatever the fuck it is, we just, the creative deviancy that we come up with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Like, I watch porn for a long time now. And, I'm just being real. Everyone's seen porn. After, the 70s? Like, there was Playboy, there was Hustler, there was...
60s, man. What are you talking
60s even. Yeah. And still before 50s, that, probably, there was like burlesque and look at my ankle, dude. Look at my ankle, my knee. You know what I mean? Like
right.
There was always like this weird forbidden fruit, the search for the Holy Grail, but
the unholy grail.
The unholy grail.
Yeah. How much filthier can I get?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
But that's just it. Like when we're talking about the weird shit that's like, I never knew that was going to be a problem. You know what I mean? Like it was, and I'm not even saying that porn's a problem, but like there's times where like I remember being a kid and like, how old were you when you had like a decent at home like internet? Like decent to where you could get on like Ask Jeeves, you could hit up on MSN.
You gotta remember when internet first really came.
That's what I'm saying.
Like public, I was like 19, 20, and I remember a friend of mine. He was at Loyola. I'm not gonna say his name.
That's fair.
And this was like, it would be like during it'd be at the end of the semester, and we'd be in the computer room, and people printing their papers, and he's printing porn pictures. So people are waiting for their papers, and all these tits and ass and all this shit would be coming up. It was the fuck. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And he's, we grabbing, we just laughing and shit because the shit was hilarious. You trying to print your paper, and we printing pussy. You know what I'm saying?
We were, excuse me, we were at a computer lab. I was in like 5th or 6th grade, and we remember earlier I asked you about science projects, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So
one of our science fair things, everyone had to pick a project online, so you'd go to like scienceprojects.com, and, right?
Right. I was way after my time. Yeah.
Right, but around the same timeline though, like when you think of like, shit, this was probably 99 to 2001, somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't technically that terribly far off. We're in 2018.
Yeah.
It was 17 years ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I was doing. And one of my buddies decided that their project was going to be which bag of at-home microwavable popcorn leaves the least amount of kernels. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
nice.
Yeah, that's like a cool one because they can sit back, eat some popcorn, and it takes 6 minutes, and you're done with your project.
Oh, and still science as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
I did not choose a quick one. I don't remember what I did. Something stupid. But they typed in popcorn.com. POPCORN.com. And it didn't come up like pop porn or anything, but popcorn.com was a porn site. Like, it just was. But it was one of those, it was more of like a gallery.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to say it, like, it was art to an extent. Like,
porn is art.
Right.
Got good art.
It was like what you would get in a Playboy or like a Penthouse or something.
Right.
And it was, every person got up and was like, oh, and it was like watching monkeys use tools for the first time. Like, it was watching the square fit through. Like, everyone was like, we can see this stuff on there. And I remember like looking over at one of my friends, and he was like, my stomach hurts, I feel sick. And I was like, what is happening? Like, it was seriously, this happened to a group of fucking like 24 5th graders who have all known each other since kindergarten. We were literally like some science experiment because we were all together from kindergarten to 8th grade, and there was only like 50 kids. It was like the farm school. There was two high schools or some shit. It was terrible, but that was my first like exposure to it. And the teacher came back in the room and just happens to see that all these 27 kids who were at 27 individual computers are now around one computer.
Right.
So what the fuck are they looking at, right? And I remember I was the first one to be like, I'm sitting the fuck down because I'm not taking a fall for this at all. So my desk was on the other side of the room, dude. I got enough to be like, that's a naked woman. Gone, because here's our teacher. Like, you had to look to the left. Terrible. And she was like, Tyler, what was going on over there? And I was like, I have no idea. You came in and I missed it. I was acting all pissed off and shit. Stopped back to my desk. But yeah, that kid got in a lot of trouble. And it was just a complete accident, though. Complete accident.
No, like a long time ago, like, when .coms came out, Washington, D.C. .com was like the biggest porn site that nobody ever knew about, except people who knew. And you go there, I'm going to find out something about the government. And you'd see the grossest at the time fucking porn you can find. I mean, it was
just bought
.com. Yeah,
dude, that's something that,
yeah.
I was
before there was a .gov, there was .com, right? So they,
and it's probably still the same. They probably never.
No, I think it's gone now because porn's everywhere. Who needs WashingtonDC.com, man?
Everything. God damn it. No, but I love that. Like, when there is some kind of a title that's just barely off. Like, you ever seen that movie Superbad? Mm-hmm. And they're talking about getting a porn account when they get to college, and he's like, "What about top 10? Like top 10? That sounds like it could be a bowling site."
Right.
Like, they're trying to figure out sites that they can put on their parents' credit cards. Dude, I'll never forget when I was a kid. Did you ever have like little scams or anything you would do to like come up and make some cash like off your friends?
No.
You never had like anything like I one time took a bunch of juice and put it in the freezer and made like icicles. And
shit like that, yeah.
Tried selling my friends for like $1 a piece while they were at my house. Like, well, they're really good, but it's $1 a piece.
Right.
Money.
Yeah.
One of them was my parents got this deluxe fucking cable package once. Like somebody talked my dad into it. Like, they really, really talked my dad into it. It was stupid expensive. And I remember we got the Playboy channel, and we got 4 boxes, and the gist was the boxes you could either have them tethered, so like if one screen like is on, the second screen will be on that channel regardless. And
Yeah,
if you turn the channel, it still happens.
Just like when you used to steal people's cable, whatever the fuck they were watching, that's the fuck what you had to watch.
Did you have that at some point?
Yeah, we used to steal people's cable.
We
We never paid for cable. We used to steal other people's
how did
cable.
that happen? Do you know? Do you ever find out like what the process was? Like, what did you do? How do you steal someone's cable? You just put in like their
It was like a connection from their cable box or their cable setup to yours.
you just had to run it like a wire.
Yeah, run it pretty much. And like even when you didn't have cable, my first exposure to porn was like you would take a cable cord from somebody who used to have cable in that apartment and you put it in the back of your TV, right? And it'll give you like 1 second of porn. Like, and then it'll you'd be like, oh yeah,
like the old trope about hotel TVs and shit like that. Like it's gonna be static.
Yeah, it's a squiggly. Yeah,
I can see something.
And then you turn it back, and then you get another frame. Ooh, he fucking the shit out of her. And,
right, and then it's just gone. It's gone.
So imagine an hour of that.
You can blame it all on me.
Man, it's
I remember.
It's very hard.
I used to roll with my cousins. On both sides of my family, so my mom's side and my dad's side.
Yeah.
And the cousins on my dad's side were actually all probably around your age at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Probably even a little bit older, maybe 19, when I was probably like 4 or 5, maybe even 6. And I remember one time my cousin, he ended up fucking like walking me through a room where my older cousin, like 18 or 19, was watching a video, adult erotica, if you will. And I just remember stopping and like staring at the screen, and my cousin being like, no way, like everybody, like get him out. And then I remember the door like shutting instantly. They were smoking, they were kicking back, like it was like a chill room basically. And I remember standing outside the door listening in, and they were like, he is not allowed in here, like, at all. Like, that's a bad move, man. Finish hitting that and pass it back and get the fuck out of here.
Dude, man, a friend of mine, his mom used to have, it was twins. Friends of mine, I'm not going to say their names, and they look absolutely not, one was light-skinned, one was dark-skinned, one was fat, one was skinny. It was the weirdest, you fucking talking about polar opposites that came out of the same fucking vagina. She was heavy into porn, and then we come over and be like, yeah, we got these porn movies. And you know, when I think back, I should have been weirded out that I'm sitting between two guys watching some fucking porn. You know what I'm saying? At fucking like 11 and 12, you know what I'm saying? But cable, when I was young, there was only 2 cables. There was On TV and Spectrum.
Okay.
And at night, and this was when Breaking came out, if you've ever seen Breaking.
Breaking, no.
It was a movie about breakdancing, and it came on damn near every day, like several times a day, Breaking and Breaking 2. It came on every fucking day.
Electric Boogaloo came from?
Yes, Breaking 2, Electric Boogaloo. Yeah.
Brothers looking for the perfect beat.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I remember that.
Party people. Party people. Want to get funky? Supersonic Force, you want to get funky?
I love it.
Ow, yeah, man. But at night, they'd have all types of porn on. Fucking man. And you didn't need a porn. You didn't need a Playboy channel. They would just have porn come on. And me personally, I guess because I grew up in that era, 70s and 80s porn is my favorite. I still have a VCR just for my 70s and 80s porn.
Do you really?
Yes, I do.
Oh,
man, I still have a VCR.
Does it still work?
Yes. I still watch Star Wars.
I'll send you home with a few compilated videos I got for you.
Star Wars, I still watch my shit, like old videotapes. You know, the whole crackling when you got to do the tracking because the video's fucking up and then the VCR is eating the tape.
Right, dude. Nowadays, like, the worst thing you got to worry about is, like, getting in a lift and forgetting your fucking Google Chrome is still on or something. Like, hey, live for Tyler? Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Let me scoot over. Cool. It's like, oh, shit. Sorry, guys. My friend just sent me a video. You remember when people used to do that? They used to send you, like, a video file or something, and it would be like, ha, and you're like, what the fuck's this? And it's like, or like, this friend's watching porn, or something like that.
I still get that. Motherfuckers send you, you know how they send you a video and it's got somebody like skateboarding on it, like the frame is somebody, and then you playing, it's like, you're like, oh shit.
I didn't know.
Man, like, no.
That's like the new classic joke. Like,
Yeah.
that's so classic.
And it's like, thank you, you
Right.
asshole, but thank you, you fucking asshole.
I bet you they
Thank
did
you.
that. I bet you they did that at the library of Alabama.
No, dude, you go to the library, man. Like if you go to the library downtown,
Downtown library.
the Harold Washington
That
Library.
scares me, man.
Man.
That's the only place in the world I've been asking, yo, man, you need good Coke? And I was like, no, I'm here for books. That's the only spot I've ever been asked in Chicago, yo, man, you need some good Coke? It was the library.
Never look at someone else's computer screen, because I promise you, you will see a dick.
Did you hear that Starbucks is putting up new anti-firewalls or some shit?
Next year,
Yeah, like
you can still get your jerk on now. You know what I'm saying?
It
Yeah.
gives you enough time to get over to Metro PCS,
Yeah.
get yourself a free iPhone 3, and start recording the shit, man. You're gonna have to pay a little extra for that 32 gig card because
Well,
once
you know.
it's gone. You gotta go to the library, and space is limited.
You still get your stroke on under the table while
Be stroking.
with
I love it when you sing
with
that
your
song.
with your grande latte. You know what I'm saying? And,
Yeah.
and hell, if you let it get warm, if it's hot and you let it get warm, you can
It's protein
you
shot.
can you can stroke in your damn latte cup because you got all that foam and it's nice and warm. It's not hot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah.
You'd be surprised how often semen is cold.
I would be surprised.
You would
Yeah,
be.
I very much would be. Yeah.
Yeah. It's basically sitting in the chest box of the rectum. I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty much.
Hilarious if someone
much.
made like you remember back in science class when you'd watch something and they'd be like, "This is a biodome," and it's like, doo, and it shows you.
No, we
You
didn't
don't
have
remember,
that.
like,
No, we didn't have that.
GAP
No. What we had,
What'd you have?
if we had any films like that, it was either history class or it was the sexual blah 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 that you get at gym. You know, you'd have the '70s films about how about catching some kind of STD, or you should wait to have sex until you marry, or
I can't go to prom, guys. I got a baby now.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or she tried coke the first time and she died. You know what I'm saying?
She did too much.
Yeah, or how you should drive, how you should, 10 and 20, or
10 and 2.
10 and 2, and you should always be looking, and never be on your phone. Oh, no, but no phones then.
I was gonna say, really?
You should
That
be
was
fucking
your
with the
problem?
radio.
That
You
was
should be
your
fucking with the
problem?
radio. Make sure you have enough space between the cars just in case there's some accident and you need to stop right quick.
Yeah, you gotta have your road flares.
Yeah.
Because that's a thing, because you don't have a cell phone. Dude, I can't imagine. You lived in a world where there was no fucking cell phones that are what we have today.
Dude, I was the last to get us. I would fucking be. I didn't want a cell phone because I saw how people get addicted to cell phones, which I am fucking addicted to my cell phone.
It's great.
I fucking waited to the last minute. Anytime somebody was fucking with me, I would be looking for a fucking payphone, man, and that shit. It was like hunting a dinosaur.
Really? Like,
I'm
difficult.
I fucking still to the end.
I think it's hilarious because nowadays I'll pass by one and I'm like, who didn't get rid of this one?
Yeah.
What number do I dial for them to come and take this away?
Is this really an FBI phone and you just trying to catch me doing a drug deal?
Yeah.
Is that what that is, officer?
It's just an Instagram prop.
Yeah,
Like,
it's got
a
to be.
publicity
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Oh, man.
But I waited to the last fucking minute, man. And my first cell phone was a Prime Code, which was U.S. Cellular before U.S. Cellular. If U.S. Cellular is even still around anymore.
U.S. Cellular is still around. The reason it's not in Illinois, or it's still in Illinois. My parents still have U.S. Cellular. It's the reason I had to pay for my own fucking phone plan. is because U.S. Cellular decided to sell all 3 of its towers in the Great Lakes, or like the from the Air Force base thing, or the air base north of us, all the way down the coast of Lake Michigan. They sold all of those towers to Sprint. I want to say Sprint or T-Mobile bought them. So there's no more U.S. Cellular. They basically bought out U.S. Cellular.
Wow.
In Chicago, though.
Yeah.
So, like, literally, they come here and their phone has 0 service. And I'm like, I get it. Like, it sucks, right? But I go there and I had to buy a new fucking phone plan. It sucks. Man, how old were you when you first had a kid? You have 3, right?
I have 3. It's like 18.
18?
Yeah.
When did it set in? Was it when the baby was born, or was there any moment leading up to it?
Yeah, it always sets in with when the baby. Oh, well, for me, it was when the baby's born.
Yeah.
There's. I'm not gonna lie and say I wasn't stressed. Blah blah blah. But when they truth be told, my mother pretty much ran a bed and breakfast. I mean, it wasn't a real bed and breakfast, but we had so many people staying with us, and that was just kind of like, my mother's from the South, and people come, they stay with you, family. We had so many kids and blah blah blah, and I done slept with so many people in a bunk bed. You know what I'm saying? It was just so. I was kind of used to taking care of kids because I was taking care of kids. I had foster brothers and sisters and all that. So, I was.
You had foster siblings?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like 3 for a long time. Yeah.
Nice kids, or were they?
Oh, no. Nice. You just, life's a shitty place sometimes. You got fucked up families, disabled, fucking hard, crack, crack. Crack kids like, I'm not gonna say I had this one little brother, and his mother was all fucked up, and she had him, and then he had a little brother, and she used to have him out. His little brother, he wasn't more than 4, had him stealing and hustling, and I mean he was a fucking hustler at 4. But the one that was with us, he was to be a child born from a mother with crack. He was as sharp as a fucking laser, damn near photographic memory. I would kick him off the game because he was always kicking my ass.
Yeah.
Good with math. Just smart, good looking, charming, all that. Yeah. So, yeah, it was crazy. But yeah, we had people in and out of our house all the time, all races. My mother, man, it was crazy. It was.
And this is the house in Rogers Park.
The house in Rogers Park, house on the south side. It was just, You socialize, you get a community of people together, and you just in and out of each other's house, because you're broke, you move in with us, and then like when I lived on the south side, we moved every year, so I was never really stayed in one neighborhood for very long. We moved every year just before we got evicted, just before the fucking sheriffs came to evict us. We were moving. It was crazy, and like I said, my mother worked like 3 jobs. How can you fucking work 3 jobs and still be fucking broke? I had 2 siblings at the time. Yeah.
And you were the oldest for her, the youngest for her?
I was the youngest for her, the oldest for my dad.
That's how it was, yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild, man. Looking at now that your kids are, one's 18, youngest 18?
Yeah, youngest 18.
And then the other 2 over 20. Shit, one my age, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And, so, I guess you... what do you think, man? Are you proud of how you're handling yourself as a parent? Are you doing better than what you thought you would have?
No,
not to even.
No. I'm not. The truth be told, I was still running the streets. Doing my thing, hanging out. Just it's. I didn't give them the preparation that they might have needed in this. Not only as children, but as black children. So I could have done a lot better. They could have done a lot better. As far as parents go, they could have did better with parents. We were always loving. We went a lot of places. We played games. We did all. They didn't have a loving household, but we didn't. His mother's. As soon as I come home, she's dropping kids because she's trying to run out. Mm-hmm. As soon as she comes home, I'm dropping the kids in her. We didn't do, you gotta, raising children is really, it's work. It's a journey. Some kids, you don't have to do much from the beginning. They just, they come home, they do their homework. They're like self-sustained.
Yeah.
The rare type of people, they're going to succeed no matter what.
Yeah.
And then there's others, you got to coax them, you got to push them. And they'll finally get it and go off and do their thing.
Right.
I remember this guy was saying, if your kid isn't prepared, if they're not disciplined to come home and do their homework, if they don't have the ambition, don't send them to college. Why waste the money?
Right.
And that makes sense in one sense. And then some people go to college and they find themselves and they push ahead. That's not the case most of the time, but for some it is.
And for some, though, like, even when they get there, it can be that wake-up call of, like, is this really, like, am I about to put this much cash up, and, like, am I going to, like, truly within myself dedicate this amount of time? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Or is my time better spent doing something else with, like, my end game? Excuse me, you get what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like, It's interesting nowadays because like I was talking to I went to like a vocational school during high school. They had this thing where like for half the day you could leave the actual school, like walking through the halls and shit, and go over to this this place where for like 4 hours you'll kick it there and do like welding or do like automotives.
Yeah.
They had this digital media arts program, and I was like, "What's up with this?" And you get to tour it, and like they had a couple Macs around the spot. They had these little drawing pads where you could learn like digital drawing. They taught you how to make like flyers. They taught you how to like edit little videos. Like you remember Buffy, right?
The Vampire Slayer?
Yeah, the Vampire Slayer.
Of course I do.
So
I'm personally a Faith fan over Buffy, but I'd fuck either one of them.
Dig it.
Or both. At the same time. Yeah, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay.
I digress.
I digress. But we got a scene from Buffy to edit. Like, it was really fucking cool. Like, they gave us the raw footage and like you got assignments off it. So I did that, and I got the certificate and that shit, and then when it got time to go to actual college, I went to like a community college for like a year or two, and sadly, it just felt way too much like high school. Like it was just a little bit farther up the road. I didn't go to another state. I was seeing the same people that I've seen for a minute and some new faces, but like there really wasn't time to be like, "Yo, what's up? We're gonna be sitting in the same class." Yeah, I didn't meet a lot of new people.
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Like maybe 15, 20 people compared to like high school where you might meet hundreds.
Right,
you know
right.
So yeah, it was just so bland, and I was like, this fucking blows. Like, how much am I paying to be here right now? Like, how much am I paying to, like, if I went somewhere and just started working and God's honest fucking gave it a try, where am I going to be, like, cash-wise? Because I ain't got a steady hand, so I can't be a doctor.
Right.
Like, I'm just going to be real with it. I don't feel like cutting out nasty gallbladders. I don't want to change.
Well, you don't have to be a surgeon to be a doctor.
I don't want to change a piss tube.
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I just don't want to do it, man.
yeah.
I'm sure it's a lot of money. I'm sure I could buy all kinds of fun stuff with it. But like, I don't need a jet ski. I don't need a couple weeks off a year. Like, I'm sure it's nice, but I don't need it. Like,
I mean, who wants to be in school when they're like damn near 40?
Well,
trying to be a doctor. I mean,
yeah,
it's a long time before you actually start making the money.
Yeah.
I mean, you do all right as a doctor, as an intern, but it takes a long. You do all right as an intern when you don't have a family and all that, because you can do any job and be all right and not have a family. But for you to really start making the money, you know, starting your own practice and all that, yeah, it takes a while. You're damn near too old to spend it at that point. Man, my dick stopped working. I'm like 40.
I know, right?
I'm giving myself Viagra, you know what I'm saying? So I can get my fuck on with all the coke.
A needle just for fun. Through the hole. See, man, the thing is, though, I also couldn't be a doctor because, like, shit, dude, I just talk too much, and I wouldn't want to, like, just be sitting there and, like, yeah, I could have, like, put his heart back together in, like, 15 minutes, Pablo, but, like, me and you just talk a lot, man, you know what I mean? Like, I really enjoy you sitting there while I do this, and, like, I'm really getting all my demons out to you, man. How much more time until he wakes up? Like, let's be real. We've been talking for 53 minutes, like, you know what I mean? Is he about to come back? Should I sew him up? All right, Pablo, I'm gonna sew him up, man. Let's go get lunch.
Man, school's a funny thing, though, man. I mean, like,
did you go? Did you? Yeah. Where'd you go to college?
I went to Truman.
Yeah.
Yeah. I should have graduated with the amount of credits I had, but you know, I just, you know, you gotta fit into like an actual degree, and I need like 2 classes to graduate. But, you know, at this point, you know, all my math and sciences are done, and you got to go back after so many years and do your whole math and science shit over. And I was like, I'm not going to do that shit. I barely passed that, and maybe I had to suck a dick or something to get past.
Yeah.
And I'm not sucking another dick to pass class. No. And I didn't suck dick to pass class.
Fine.
I'm just saying.
I trust you. That's why you're a doorman and not a bartender. You don't want to count. You just need to remember that the year changes each year.
Yeah.
You're 97 this year.
Right.
Next year, we're only going up 1, man. Don't worry, I don't need like 4 or 5 whiskey cokes and a sunrise or some shit. You don't need to add it up for me, man.
Man, but when I went to school, like, I guess I was one of those that slipped through high school because I never took the SAT or the ACT, which was weird. And
you never took those?
No.
How did you get away with not taking that?
That's the question. Yes, I never took it. And we didn't have a lot of vocational stuff at the school I went to, and you know, there was always was it Job Corps you could go to, or the military, which Yeah, but well, you know, a lot of people say, and I agree to some extent. You know, school is just training you to be a manual laborer.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's why you get in trouble if you're tardy.
Yeah, but then again, you know, when you go, school does provide something. I think kids should go and get all they can out of school. You might go to some school and you see teenagers like cursing out teachers and shit, and it's like, what the fuck is that?
Those videos on like World Star or on anything. Like
yeah, it's like, man, and it's like, you really don't have to be here if you want to go and waste your life, whatever, and miss all the good times that you can have in high school. You know, all the shit they offer now that they didn't offer when I was in high school.
Right.
Man, I fucking wish I could go back to high school and be fucking all that young pussy, man. Right at this point, I mean, I'm just saying. Jesus. And doing all the shit that they have available for them now, because they didn't have.
To hear this.
They didn't have half that shit. None of that shit probably when I was in high school, or I was too oblivious because I was too busy chasing young high school pussy.
Right.
Yeah, you know, and playing basketball and reading comics and staying out all night and shit.
High school was fun.
It was.
But it was also a fucking, like, it was a battleground at times. Like, did you ever see some shit pop off on the other side of the room before?
I'm not gonna say what high school I went to, but
you don't have to. You don't have to put your business in the news.
Fucking freshman year, homecoming.
Okay.
It was a fucking riot in front of the school.
Are you serious?
A fucking full riot. Police. They were all around it, and it was just a big battle royale in front of the fucking school.
It just went down.
It just went the fuck down. It was the craziest shit. And truth be told, even though I lived on the south side, and it was really violent where I lived.
Yeah.
Actually, I joined a gang. It's more like a boys club. On the south side. Yeah. But it was more of, you know.
I'm not laughing at you.
No,
That's
you know.
a beautiful way to put that. I joined a gang. It was more like a boys club.
You know how, like, in a sense, like, you know, my school as opposed to your school, and we might fight. It was like that type of deal. It wasn't a real gang. I learned about real gangs later. Yeah.
Right,
you know, back when in my little boys club, you know, you might see the opposition, you jump them, y'all fight a little. Everybody walks away. At most, you might have a busted lip, and you're angry, and your clothes are dirty because they had you on the ground, and they were gangs later that I learned about, and which was weird because I grew up in some very violent places. I saw dead bodies as a child, all types of stuff. It just never really affected me until I moved. When I became a teenager, and they was recruiting, and we was getting jumped on, and that's when I really knew what gangs were.
Right.
But yeah, it was like 6 gangs, man, and they were going at it, and it was like, it had to be like,
it was so in your description of this though, it was more of like that movie like The Warriors or something, like 6 gangs. It was like,
come on, boppers.
We're the Clippers. They got their barber outfits and stuff.
These were certified Chicago fucking real gangs. But you know, everybody's a teenager and everybody goes to the same school, and they were going at it. And then,
crazy.
You know, police didn't do anything until it started breaking up. You know, everybody's population lessons, police come in, and they started snatching up people.
Yeah.
Then they went to the train station that was down, and then they set it off at the fucking train station. But this was back in the time.
Stop at the time.
This was
you know what? Actually, no.
Okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's fine.
But this was back in the days where if you were riding a train, you'd be like, damn, I'm about to come to that stop. Because at that stop, you knew the opposition was there. Or people who just, because gangs pretty much still break down into racial lines. And if you have this certain race, well, obviously you got to be this certain gang, or they really don't care. They just want to jump you anyway. So you get to this stop, and you always looking around, are these motherfuckers going to be on the train? Is this the day I get my ass whooped on this train? Same with the bus. Man, people think Chicago's violent now. Man, Chicago has been violent a very long time, and riding that train, riding that bus was a precarious decision to make.
Which is hilarious because
getting robbed, people getting killed for their gym shoes or their starter coats. It was crazy. But I mean, man, I've never owned until recently a pair of Jordans because I didn't want to get jacked for my Jordans. And plus, I wasn't gonna have my mama pay $100 for some gym shoes, and we hardly eating. That's nonsense to me.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it was violent times, brother.
Oh shit.
Yeah, violent like.
And that's interesting you say that because like you have to remember 2018 going into 2019. Like I remember one time I was sitting on the train and I went from Howard to Chinatown. It was a long ass fucking ride. And that was just to Chinatown. It wasn't to like Sox and 35th. It was just to Chinatown. And like there was this chick, and I know it sounds kind of fucked up to be like there was this woman, and like I worried about her safety and anything, but like it was just really interesting. You could tell like it was like her first time in the city, maybe, or like everything that you would expect a tourist to do. Yeah, this person did. And like, it's not like she was just some pretty little thing or something. Like, it was just like just a girl just sitting across from me, and like doing shit where like for no reason pulling out the wallet and like counting to make sure you grabbed all $200 and not like $195 or something stupid. Yeah, in all of your denominational bills, and like, yes, I'm gonna check my wallet for no reason. Yep, all 7 credit cards here, closed, put it back on my person, and I'm just like, you're doing the worst fucking shit you could possibly do. Made it the whole ride down under the loop and all that shit, like completely fine. And I was just like, what the fuck are the odds of like this person who's basically like a sloth of a human being who's just not paying attention, and like if somebody wanted to, like, I could have robbed this person sitting across from like me to you, and like nothing happened. I was like, Chicago, like, Jesus Christ, this isn't. I'm not trying to be like, be more violent, goddammit. Somebody, everyone, hear ye. I just want to pronounce that there is a person who is minding their own business but breaking all of what you shouldn't do. Somebody robbed them. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to say that, but like to hear that, it's kind of feels foreign to hear, even though it was only within what, 20 years, 20, 30 years. Yeah. Difference in the story right now. Wow. Man, yeah, that the red line and the blue line used to be they used to be the worst, and they're still the red line and the blue line are still pretty interesting because, you know, of course they run all night, so you get all types of shit happening, you know, and people, and like Chicago downtown is totally different than when I grew up. It's a totally different Chicago. Like Chicago's becoming like, well, you know, you go to downtown, say Orlando, you got a Starbucks, you got this, and it's just like, you could go transplant yourself in another major city and their downtown's just the fucking same. It's like, what the fuck happened? Chicago's losing the old Chicago-ness. But when I was growing up... But isn't that for the better? For who? Society? Yes and no. I mean, so aren't getting stabbed over their Jordans. But, well, yeah, but... As often. But you're losing the uniqueness because you're becoming so homogenous. You know what I mean? I mean, you come. Every downtown's the same. There's nothing unique about Chicago. The Chicago accent is gone. I get what you're saying. You know, I'm not saying I want the violence. I'm just saying. No, but the Chicago accent's gone because Chicago's not just like a single being. Like it's never been just like in the South, for example, right? There's a dialect. There's like the tone in their voice. You know what I mean? There's a draw. Right. What was Chicago's like? See, or something like that, like the mafioso talk. No, like it's more Italian, it was actually an Irish thing. Well, still, there's so many there's so many people from different backgrounds and from different cultures, different fucking creeds. I don't know, like all kinds of shit. There's no way to pin down the voice anymore. Like, it's a sanctuary city, man. People are like fine with anyone from the world who's in trouble, like kind of coming here and finding some kind of an asylum. You know what I mean? Are they really? I don't know. I'm assuming. You're assuming. Yeah, everybody's cool. Yeah, come on down. Bring your troubles. You know, like, hey, chill out. We've got a place for you. We don't have a place for ourselves, but we got a place for you. I mean, do you have a roof? I do have a roof. Yeah, I mean, but I've been here forever. Right, there's people who don't, man. It does true, suck, but like, I don't know. Why don't they try to asylum seek to another country? Go to fucking Ireland, man. See if they take you in. You got nothing going in Chicago. You can go to Ireland, you know. You have to get there. You have to like. You got to get there. That's what I don't understand. Like, a lot of times, like we have like Syrian refugees in this part of town, right? But the thing is like, you hear the stories and you hear like, you know, they fucking fled and all this shit, but like sometimes I'm just like, how the fuck, like, did you just have this money set aside to like do this cross-country journey?
Well,
like, how does it actually break down? So I'm actually going to bring somebody on who has worked very closely with different refugees and like replacements in the city. I want to find out more about that.
Some of that is true. Some of that, some of them have gone through some crazy fucking times in some very violent, crazy places, and you know they get with some kind of institution that helps them, you know, cross, and then they go through the channels, and then you have people like, as they say, the scam of diversity. Oh, well, you know, this person, blah blah blah, and they come from a rich family already, and they transplanted here, and you know they're already living their best life, and they come in and they use the whole scam of you know, affirmative action or whatever you want to call it. Or they let another minority in, but they're not really a minority. They're pretty much a European in their country, and they come here with a European mindset and mold into a European lifestyle already. You've already got the money.
Right.
That is the lie of immigration. Oh, well, they came here and they just worked so hard. Some people do. Some people don't. How did you come here and buy a building? You know? Where's that money really coming from? Or like when you go to a neighborhood and they've got like 6 fucking cell phone stores. How are you making money from a cell phone store and you're all taking in and you're all taking the payments? And how much you're not selling those phones,
right? Because
those phones, they're outrageous, because this is not a regular Metro PCS store or whatever. No, this is just you know, a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
And they're taking in $3 for a fee for when you pay your phone bill. How many $3 do they have to take in that day to pay for that day or for that month? Where's that money coming from for you to be starting these businesses?
Thanks. Wouldn't you just get a loan? The mob. Do you think cell phone providers work with the mob at first to get it all rolling? Bill Gates has got that fuck you Al Capone money.
That money's coming from somewhere, and I don't think it's exactly legal means. Not to say that it's illegal, but it seems kind of funny.
I guess, man. That's crazy. Did we just say that there's a conspiracy behind like AT&T and shit like that?
No, not at all. I'm just saying that.
I just like we danced. That was
we danced
man.
here.
Like we
to immigration. How do people from these? I mean, if you make it to like one of these safe spots where you have, like I said, like the what is it? The red
like the clear zone, like if you make
and
it here,
it's like
you think they just put them all on like a 747? No, that's what I'm saying though. Like if you make it here, like how?
No, they do. The United States does go in and they do traverse refugees to the United States and put them like in Middle America and give them, you know, public aid and blah blah blah, and try to give them vocational training and try to immersion training. You know, how to fit in, sort of, kind of.
You'd think that'd be more of a focus, because like I've never heard of anybody saying like their new job is, you know, filing papers filing papers or like transitioning people into the country after immigration. But you always hear people who want to be nurses. And when that was the big pop, like I'm going to nursing school, like
because we need more nurses,
which is true, but at the same time that kind of like stagnates the market in a sense, because there's so many nurses, so there's not like a huge demand for like pay raises. Like you can't demand a higher salary in a sense.
Well, no,
at least that's what I've heard from some nurses.
We've also got a problem with getting labor from other countries and bringing them in.
It's not always worked great.
It's always immigration affects labor, and sending labor out affects labor, of course.
Right.
Because, you know, you go to this country, you don't have to pay them anything, you can do whatever you want to them because the government's pretty much hands off. Why would I care about you? In the United States, you've got these laws and OSHA, and you've got unions. I don't want to deal with that. You know, I got to pay you $40. I can pay them $5. Maybe I can pay them less because their standard of living is totally different than it is here. And nurses. They transplant nurses from over there, bring them over here, or doctors that come over here and still taking their state boards, work as nurses and blah blah. Or was it the H1 something visa? I forget the name of it.
Oh, where you can be a doctor in another country or something.
Or more like it's more like for engineers and more for technical skill. And a friend of mine was saying, well, when he went to he works for this company and they work with the airlines, and when he went there, he was like, it was like him and another guy, and they were the only Americans. And I'm not talking about just white. They would just happen to be the only Americans. Everybody else was a transplant. Now, does the United States really have a shortage of engineers? No. Do we really have a shortage of people with technical skills? No, not really. But it's cheaper to get labor to come over here, and they're living they're making more money here than
take it there.
Yeah, or take it there. Yeah.
To be real, yeah.
So as much as people complain, it's crazy how these people are taking our jobs and blah blah blah. To some degree, they are, but it's more like they're being given your job because at the top of the chain, you're just another laborer, American or not. Who cares?
Right, you're just another piece of the puzzle.
Yeah, or not, or you can be off to the side as I take something else that it's all about my profit, and it's just sad that we're always. The crabs in the barrel, fighting each other for the little crumbs that they throw down for us to consume. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, the Cheetos are the shit, man.
Well, thank goodness they still make Cheetos in the United States.
Yeah.
American Cheetos, goddammit. American Cheetos. I refuse to eat any Sharia law Cheetos. Because the Muslims, I hate the Muslims. They do it all. I won't eat no Muslim Cheetos. Careful. It's fucking ridiculous.
Careful, man.
Yeah, it's fucking ridiculous.
Sound like fucking. I can't even say it. Because I probably have to cut it.
Well, no, because people. What is it? It's the 3 G's. It's gays, guns, and there's another G that they're always complaining about.
Who's they?
Fucking gays, guns, and
Gays, Guns, and Gandhi?
No.
Coming this fall to the CW.
Oh, man.
When the luggage was switched at the airport, 2 gay guys found Gandhi's guns.
Gays, guns, and it's another one. I forget, but yeah, always fucking complaining.
Who says that? I've never... Is that just like...
Well, I gotta have my gun rights. I hate gays because gays are getting too much power and they're being all over the place. Who gives a fuck, man? I mean, if you're not into gay guys, do your thing. Let them do their thing.
Right.
Who gives a shit? You know what I'm saying? He's not thinking about you. Why the fuck are you... I'm starting to think that you got a latent desire because you can't keep your mind off him. You know what I'm saying?
True. Who's that? Is it Ron White, the comedian? You watch stand-ups? I take it. We talked about Pryor earlier.
Yeah,
I stand-up comedians.
Not really.
No.
I don't know.
There's this guy named Ron White. He was one of the Blue Collar Boys. The Blue Collar Comedy Tour with Jeff Foxworthy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Ron White was like the silver fox of the group. And he was like the old fucking, a little bit bigger, but he would tell stories and smoke cigars on the stage and be like, "I'll say it and I don't give a fuck."
Mm-hmm.
It was like his deal. And one of his jokes, he was like, one of my buddies, he was bitching about gay people, and he's like, he goes, "We're all kind of gay," and his friend's like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "We're all kind of gay. You watch porn, don't you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I watch porn. So what?" And he's like, "You like it when the guy's got a little 2-inch dick?" And he goes, "Do you only watch lesbian porn?" And he's like, "No, I watch it. I'm comfortable enough to watch a man and a woman make love." And he's like, "All right, well, when he's giving it to her, do you like the guy to have a little 2-inch hard prick?" And he was like, "No, I like big meaty and stuff." He's like, and he was like, "Told you, we're all a little gay, so don't even worry about it." Yeah, that's funny as fuck. We gotta go to a show, man. We gotta go to like a comedy show or something. Do you like live performance?
I love live performance theater, comedy. Yeah. There's like, I think it's the Comedy Bar. On Tuesday, it's like Tomato Night.
Okay.
where you go and they give you a tomato, or it's it's not a real tomato. It's like a beanbag. Plus the deal, and everybody does their comic bit. And you throw your tomato at the one you hated the most.
That's we're gonna find out what that is, man.
It's like every fucking Tuesday at the Comedy Bar.
That'd be cool, dude.
Yeah.
I'd be down. You know what else I want to do? I want to go check out the Magic Bar.
Oh, which one?
I don't know.
There's like a couple.
There's a couple now?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Man, I was talking to Jerome. I wanna set it up to where like once a month we try to get some place to give us a free experience at whatever their shop is. So like indoor skydiving. Hey, let us three come by and jump around and like we'll record it and put it on the internet. Like, you guys can use the footage or like just some stupid shit. We gotta have some kind of like what's that show like Impractical Jokers where they go around and they're wearing a microphone in their ear and you're trying to say weird shit to a stranger. Man, can I hold your baby? It's like, I don't want to ask her that, man. I don't think we do that. Just sitting in the car while we got cupcakes and Jerome on the side. Just, I can't do that, guys. We'll figure out something fun to do. But before we wrap this up, man, first off, thank you very much for coming by.
No, I'm sorry. I've kept you off topic like the whole fucking time.
No, that's what we do here, dude.
Man, yeah.
You've now experienced it, so for like future reference, you don't need to watch the show. Just know this is the kind of thing that happens. We sit back, we bullshit, talk a little bit about the who's and what's and shit like that, and then we just riff for a little bit. Before you know it, look at that. You're an hour 15. You got 10 minutes to wrap it up. It's going to be beautiful. So, real quick, man, what's some advice that you'd give someone out there if they just found out they're about to be a dad, man? Like, what's a little bit of advice now that you've been in the game for a while and you see where society's at and where it's aiming? And
society's been fucked up all the time.
Here goes the next hour.
No, it's just we give like there's this time like there's like some kind of nirvana in the human experience. Every time it's fucked up. Everybody's working hard. You got to deal with this perverts, fucking violence, domestic abuse, whatever, low wages. It's always humanity's collectively. It's just a miserable experience that we're all sharing, having our own experience within the greater experience of the whole thing. So, personally, I would say, before you get somebody pregnant, use a condom. And, be sure about the person you actually, give your genetic code to. And that's for a woman, too. Be careful of the person you take. Because who wants to be stuck with a fucking person you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life, or somebody who's going to abandon you and your child, and it's just sickness and everything. Who knows what they might be carrying in their bloodstream or their genetics, and you're going to have to deal with that. Fucking Down syndrome, autism, the genetic diseases, blah blah. It's being a parent. The worst thing about being a parent is, or one of the worst things is, even when you're an adult, when your children are adults, you're still a parent. You still worry about them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? You're never really free of that. You're still fucking dealing with these assholes that came out of out of that woman's vagina. You know what I'm saying? It's
So after saying all that, do you want to give like a Cupid shout out to any special ladies out there? You never know what you're gonna get caught up with, guys.
You got to be really careful who you're giving the dick to. You just can't throw. I know as a young guy, you just think. You gotta, even when you're young, you gotta be careful. Who is it really worth giving them the pleasure of your penis and have to deal with her for another 21 years? Is she organized? Is she loving? Is she caring? Is she gonna back you? Are you gonna back her? Does she got a good head on her? You know what I'm saying? It's just you gotta be really careful who you mate with. That's really. Before you fucking become a father, you gotta be careful who you mate with.
I'm surprised at this point it's still not government regulated, just mating at this point. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? I think everyone at 27, 28, or even 30 should be brought into a room and they're like, all right, we're gonna castrate you, but it's cool, man. You're gonna make an extra $10,000 a year.
Well,
you're gonna make an extra $10,000 a year on the back end.
Let's not forget that eugenics is not a new idea. In the United States, it was performed on people.
Yeah.
So the idea of who can have babies and why they should be able to have babies and so forth and so on. That's still recurring, as in, say, Planned Parenthood and Margaret, was it Sanger or whatever her name is, and Margaret Sanger was like the lady who started, or one of the starters of Planned Parenthood, and she had this like this monthly like magazine, and it would be all these eugenics and racist shit, and it's a lot of shit that happened that's not talked about as far as things that doctors have done to people. Yeah. Even people didn't even know they were having this done to them, and it's a lot of shit that hasn't ever been talked about ever. How much shit that governments and people in power do, and humanity just goes on. It'll come out in FBI files 40, 50 years later. When it's impotent and there's you can't go back and kill the motherfucker because they're already dead. That type of shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was being a patriot. I was just doing what needed to be done at that time. I was supporting my country. Blah blah blah. Because we've always got an excuse for the shitty things we do.
Yeah.
And that's something all of us do. But yeah, being human, it can really suck. And then it could be really great too, because I love fucking. I'm just saying, I love fucking. Board games, comics, drinking, that's a lot of shit we do, dancing, stand up all night, it's a lot of shit we do as humans that's cool, and it's a lot of shit we do that's really not sexy at all.
Yeah, very true, very true. Well, Dirty Joe, thank you very much, man, for coming in. This was a blast, and I'd love to have you back on sometime, man. Thank you very much.
No, thank you for having me. We've been trying to do this for a while.
For a minute, yeah. This is episode 17, so that means I've been doing it 17 weeks. Yeah, 1 week.
You do one a week?
1 week.
Oh, yeah, nice, nice.
So right now, this one will come out actually probably in a couple weeks, to be real with you, because I'm trying to just get a backlog so I can take a couple months off and like focus on some other shit for a little bit and just have these off to the side. So,
right.
Yeah. So, folks, hope the world's still around for y'all to hear this. Hope nothing fucks up in the time-space continuum. And yeah, man, hopefully by the time this is out, we'll be getting us a new Avengers Infinity War trailer, Avengers 4 or whatever it's going to be called. There's going to be a lot of cool shit on the horizon.
A new Star Wars trailer too, hopefully.
Yeah, we got a lot to look forward to. Yeah. So, yeah, man, we'll sit down and do another one of these soon. Like I said, what I want to start to do is kind of like a dinner for four thing. I've got some couple other mics on the way, and so I want to be able to set us all up with one and sit, have a few other people joining us and just what we're doing, folks, is we got a fishbowl now, and we're going to start filling it up with questions and suggestions. So, yeah, we'll pass the fishbowl around, and we'll see what kind of weird shit people on the internet want to find out about and want to talk about and want to hear our opinions on. And, yeah, it's basically live truth, not or dare, just truth. So let us know. All right, guys.
And just remember, people, that, masturbating is still having sex, and the only asshole you have to deal with is yourself. Yeah.
We're going to snap out of this episode, folks. All right, everybody. Enjoy your week. Be kind to each other. Be safe and rap it before you tap it. Let's be real. I'm sure you love the kids, but you know what I mean? Let's
rap it before you tap it.
Motherfuckers out here playing checkers when we're playing chess. So
absolutely.
Let's do it right. Later, guys.
Where's your laboratory?
Spoiler alert, he never made it to the bathroom. Shit his pants right there. Dirty Joe, it was a blast and a half having you on the show, man. Can't wait to bring you back in after the new year when we have a nicer little setup going. We can do a multi-mic pod giant sit down with 4 or 5 people. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see how that goes. Till then, y'all have a blast. Like I said in the intro, you got 16. It's the 18th. And, yeah, Christmas is right around the corner, so get your shopping done. Might I suggest, make them something. Yeah, go to a craft store. You know your friends well enough, hopefully. If not, macaroni, noodles, and glue works like a charm. All right, guys, have a week. I'll catch you later. Love you.